America.
Hey everybody. We are trying out a new streaming platform.
Are you sure it's working?
I'm not. So I am trying to figure out if this is even working.
If you can, tell me what time it is. What time does it say right behind us? If you know what time it is, you know that clock is wrong.
It says we have 0 viewers right now.
Oh, well, that's okay. They'll come.
Yeah.
They shall come.
So I don't know.
When we supposed to start?
Not 8, sorry. It's right now.
It's 8 o'clock?
It is 8 o'clock.
Or can we just wait till 8:01?
We can wait till 8:01. It's fine. Oh, look, your phone's ringing.
Oh, man.
Sorry, technical difficulties. My husband doesn't know how to not answer his phone.
Hello.
No, you are on a video.
Because I want to hang up on them live.
Okay, says we have a viewer. So we're trying a new streaming platform, guys. That's supposed to be streaming us on YouTube and on Facebook
At the same time.
at the same time. Woo! So if
How do I look?
oh, they went away. If you can see us, let us know.
All right. If you can see us on Facebook
Or YouTube.
or YouTube, just let us know where you're coming from.
I'm assuming they can. So what our topic is about tonight is the debates that was a couple nights ago now, the presidential debate.
Presidential debate.
We were not in the mind frame to talk about the debate during the debate because, it was a lot, guys. It was a lot.
We was in a hotel room, and I think the people like 2 doors down could hear me screaming.
It was bad. And oh my gosh, like we were on vacation for our anniversary and we had just gotten back in. We forgot all about the debate.
Wasn't even thinking about it.
Turned on the TV and we're like, oh no. And
look at this mess.
Oh no, it was I don't even feel like calling it a debate because like debate rules were not followed.
No. See, this is why my wife tells me that I would not be a great politician. Even though I want to be a politician. I mean, I might cuss a little bit too much, but hey, I'm a real guy. I'm not fake. I'm going to show you who I am when you meet me. Right. But I would have whooped Trump's ass that night. Like, you go to talking personally about, like, politics is politics. Don't talk about people's families.
Especially when your families aren't, like, all copacetic, you know? Like,
no, you're doing too much when you get next to me and go to talking about my family. Like, okay. You can talk about me all you want. My dead son.
Even my live
son
that struggles with addiction, I don't need you to talk about him because I will fight you.
Yeah,
It was a lot. It was a lot. So I wrote down some of my highlights. I don't know if you call them highlights, lowlights, whatever you want to call them. But
they were some.
They were something. The first thing I wanted to bring up was Biden's demeanor. It was really refreshing to not have someone up there just yelling insults. Like, don't get me wrong, he got there. But it was after Trump kept calling his kid out over and over and over.
Yeah, he said, well, you just shut up, man.
On an unfounded claim, right? Like the Hunter Biden thing, does it matter? Like if we're going to talk about nepotism, like Trump's not the one to be talking about that at all. So to me, Biden's demeanor was actually super refreshing because he was calm, he was cool. He was collected for the most part. I mean, he did tell Trump, "Shut up, man." He did call him a clown.
Oh, that was funny.
He did.
You a clown.
He did do all of that, but it was after a lot of provoking from Trump. And I feel like if Trump had a game plan at all, that was it.
Oh, no, that was it.
That was it, to get a Biden out of character, off his game.
Trump has been in office almost 4 years now.
Right.
Have you seen any other action come out of the White House besides squirrel?
Right.
Squirrel.
Constant,
fire.
Constant.
I was like, that's all he does, man. He's not trying to do he's not really trying to do no real politicking or any governing.
Like, at least Biden was trying
to
tell us his policies on the environment and the economy and healthcare.
But he shut him down.
Trying, but Trump interrupted him every single time.
By design.
Didn't have any of those policies.
If you don't think he was doing that on purpose, then you haven't been watching politics very long.
Right.
Because he just all he did was, oh, hey, we need to have green new energy. Oh, what about your son? What? Then that was just distracting him, getting him off his game, because he doesn't want Biden to come out with any laws or any kind of plan to upshow him. He don't have a plan ever. If you give him another 4 years, it's going to be the same thing.
I don't know. It's crazy to me that it doesn't seem like Trump had a plan other than distract, attack, personally attack.
Yes.
Not politically, personally attack.
Mm-hmm. I think Trump had a couple of good points, but the whole time he was talking, like, you were just upset because he wouldn't shut the hell up. But the things, he wouldn't even let the guy, when he had a couple of good points, he wouldn't even let the guy come with his answer.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, man. These people, now listen, another people that are bothering me right now is the people that are undecided.
Like, how? How? If you're undecided, please, like, let me know how.
No, let her know, because you talk to me, you ain't gonna get the right answer, because
I just really want to know, like, what it would take to make up your mind at this point. Like, this point in the game, basically a month before the election.
34 days.
We've had 3.5 more than 3.5. We've had almost 4 years of Trump. We had basically 8 years of Biden
and Obama.
So I don't understand, like, at this point, how you would not know what you want, know who's for you, who's against you, all of those things.
Now, let me say this. If you are a child, like this is your first time, I know my kids, I got two 18-year-olds here, and they don't know the difference between up and down, left and right. So those type people, I forgive. If you're undecided and you're a young person, 17, 18 years old, all right, just get on the internet and do some more research. Talk to your parents. They might lead one way or the other, but still talk to them. But then talk to your other people around you. Talk to your neighbors. Ask questions. I'm sure people wouldn't mind talking to you if you're a young person and want to vote.
Right, exactly. Like, one of our teenagers in our last local election were like, "Oh, there's an election today. Are you going to vote in it?" And he was like, "No, like, I don't know what's going on."
But I'm proud of him.
Yeah, but at least he didn't go in there blind and just fill out a ballot.
Right,
right. At least he was like, "No, I'm not educated enough to vote about this yet."
He's cautious. He wants to get his research done. That's fine with me. Right. You can't be mad at somebody like that now.
But that's why I'm saying, like, if you're undecided, like,
if you voted in your state, if you voted 2 years ago in the primaries, don't talk. No, if you voted 2 years ago and now suddenly now you don't know who the hell you voting for, you need to go back in your house.
4 years ago? Or are you
No, I'm talking about even the primaries.
Midterms,
primary. Just go back in your house. Go cover up hit your little click of the TV and stay there until it's all over. Don't even go to work. Just stay in the bed.
No, I don't know why our lights do this. Like I look like a ghost half the time. Sorry. So
I ain't so black.
I know it's like it's trying to adjust to our colors and it doesn't know which way to go.
I match my couch whenever the light go down. Look. Oh shit! There it is.
Don't know why, guys. Like the lights aren't. I don't know. Anyway,
computer sucks.
So sorry. My next point, and I already kind of talked about this, was the personal attacks and how Trump kept bringing up Hunter Biden and the unfounded overseas money claims. Like
this man can't get a good job.
Not even that.
The job was paying him like $150,000 a year or something like that just to be on the board.
Okay, but here's the thing: who cares? Like, if we're gonna all of a sudden care about our president or vice president's kids and families and what they're doing and making money doing while in office or out of office, then we need to look at Trump's family as well. His daughter is a member of the White House staff and is still promoting and making money on her private businesses.
Absolutely.
His son-in-law, same thing.
Kushner.
Yes. Like they are all in positions of power in the White House while promoting their own brands and private businesses and making money. They outside of the White House in their private businesses, and that is illegal. So if we're going to talk about that, then he needed to bring up that too.
Yeah.
I wish Biden would have brought that up, but I understand it's not in his character to do that. But it's just like, oh, please, like somebody,
right.
You know,
Kushner made millions last year.
Ivanka
did a trademark with China. And she made like 30 million or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I'll look it up and post it. But she made a big chunk of money while she's working.
If anyone has that information,
let us know.
Yeah.
And subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you nothing.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Yes. So the third thing I had is the big one. I think the big takeaway from that debate, and it was how Trump would not and did not denounce white supremacy. Like, not only did he denounce it, he called out a white supremacist group, boys, and told them to stand back and stand by. I don't know how many military people we have. A bunch of
frat boys with guns
watching this, but if you're told to stand by, doesn't that mean like await further instructions?
Get ready.
You know?
Get ready. Be ready.
Like, isn't that what that means? I don't know. Like, I was just sitting there like, no, he didn't say that.
No, he did because he's not scared to say it. He's not scared to do anything because why he's been the president. He does stupid stuff all the time and it's unchecked. He's not scared. They went through the impeachment process, didn't do nothing to him. So why would you be scared to do anything? I wouldn't be scared if they didn't do nothing to me. So that's why he does. That's why he gets away with it.
Well, not only that, like, he praised the Kenosha shooter. Like, I just found out, what was it, yesterday? I was having a discussion with someone on Facebook, and they were arguing, saying that the Kenosha shooter was acting in self-defense.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, what video are you watching? And then I realized they're only seeing
Fox News.
Not just that. Like, they're only seeing the second half of that video to where he is shooting the second and third person because he shot someone else in the face, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then he gets chased down
by vigilantes.
By not
protesters.
white supremacist
vigilantes,
but the other side, I guess we can say Antifa, but
they're not Antifa.
But they're not Antifa. But he gets chased down by a dude with a skateboard. He's got an AR, AK, whatever. I don't know guns like that.
AR.
But he gets chased down with a dude with a skateboard, and he's got an AR. Is he really being threatened? Like, I'm very confused about that. But that's the video that certain news stations are showing, is only that second half. That is what the press is putting out there, is only that second half. Like, oh, he was acting in self-defense because these dudes were hitting him with their skateboard. It's like, he just shot somebody in the head, and they're trying to stop him from shooting more people. And in the process, they get shot. One gets his arm blown off, and the other one's dead. Like, I don't see how people are defending that, but the president is. So it's like,
yeah, that's why they feel emboldened, because the president is not saying anything bad about these people.
He's not denouncing them.
But he so has time to condemn BLM or Antifa or something like that.
Whatever group.
Of course, anybody, you know, black or brown, he's got a problem with. But anything white people do, you know, I don't know the whole story.
Right. Well, like, okay, last night when it was Chris Wallace who was the moderator.
Yeah.
Okay. So Fox News journalist is the moderator, right? So he gives Trump this softball, like, will you denounce white supremacy? Trump's like, sure, what do you want me to call it? And Chris Wallace is like, white supremacy. Like, why do you have to have another word for it? And then, like, Biden's like, Proud Boys. And that's when he's like, Proud Boys, stand back, stand by. And it's like, that's not denouncing them.
I took a bite of my dinner. I looked dead in my wife's face. Honey, did you hear what he said?
He just called them to action. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I don't.
What happened to the back in the day when I was younger, when people used to ball their fist up if they had beef like that? Like, so how tough do you, like, I don't understand. How big of a man are you to strap up? I mean, let me strap up. Grab your guns and walk to and go to a protest where you know no one in the crowd has a gun.
Yeah. And
then step out and stick your chest out like you hard. Ain't nobody gonna bother you because you have a gun.
Right.
But I'm trying to figure out, like, how do you feel like we call that back in the day, we call them fake. You fake hard, you soft. Because why would you go to an advantage where nobody can fight you back?
Right.
You're a punk. So then you get a group of them that wants to go poll watch and wants to go bother people while they're being upset because somebody got choked out or shot by the police. What?
Isn't that voter intimidation to be standing at the
polls? Of course it is.
With weapons?
Of course.
But is that not against the law? Like,
I gotta look that up. I don't want to say yes or no.
Is that freedom of speech to intimidate people at the polls? Like, I don't know.
I think, hell, I mean, I know this sounds terrible. And please, I mean, I don't know. Don't listen to me. Don't.
Oh, no. I'm scared about
listen to me, but don't do what I say.
Okay.
Look.
Buckle up,
everybody. If you are a gun carrier, if you are able to carry a gun and you are not a felon, I would definitely have it in my area the day you go vote. That's bad to say in America. I've never heard or seen of that happening before. But this election is so important to these people to stay in power. They will try to intimidate or maybe shoot someone.
If they know they didn't vote the way they...
Yeah, you don't have to answer anybody's questions if you're standing in line to vote.
You do? I mean, doesn't the poll worker ask Democrat or Republican?
Well, that's the only question.
Or is that only in the primaries that they do that?
They shouldn't even ask you. They should. Here's your ID.
It should be the same for everybody in this election.
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
They say, here's your ID, or here's my ID. My name is such and such. Okay, here you go. I see you. Is this your address? This is my address and your ID. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Well, there's your booth down there. Here's your paperwork. Here's your pen. Have a good time. You go over there and stick it in the machine after you're done. That's all the questions should be asked. If somebody's standing outside asking you questions, you don't got to answer nobody. You don't got to answer a police officer. Like a police officer asks you.
They shouldn't be asking who you're
No, just don't fall in for the okie doke and start answering questions.
Right. Anyway, we already said this too, but Biden tried to actually debate on policies as well. He tried to explain his plans on healthcare. He tried to explain his plans on the environment, the pandemic that has now killed over 204,000 people. He tried to explain his plans on the economy. And Trump just kept talking over him with no solutions. Like, Trump tried to say that Biden was going to do universal health care, and he was like, nope, that's not my plan. He's like, I plan on expanding Obamacare and making it better because, of course, it's not perfect. But then, of course, Trump's plan to that is just to repeal it without a replacement. And it's like, so you're going to kick tens of millions of people off healthcare with no plan to do anything about it. Like, so.
But that also pushes people out of their homes and out of their beds if they're sick into someone's job to where they have to go to work, even if they're able to or not.
Which will boost the economy, I guess. Like, I don't know. He kept saying that Biden's plan on the environment was the Green New Deal, and it's not. I don't think it ever has been. I think his environmental plan and his economic plan kind of go hand in hand. He wants to create green jobs. So he wants to lower carbon emissions to net zero by, 2040? But he wants to do that by creating new jobs in the environmental field. And that is just unheard of, Right. So he's got a plan. He couldn't lay it out because he kept getting interrupted by a 5-year-old, when we do these lives, there's a reason our kids are not here because we couldn't do them. My 5-year-old would be interrupting me every second going, are you doing a video? What are you doing? And that's what I felt like happened on the debate stage that night was
Absolutely.
Just interruption after interruption and distraction after distraction.
Absolutely.
So
that was the point. And it worked because, even I watch, this is my guilty sin or pleasure.
Yeah.
I watch Fox News, CSNBC, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, TYT, what's the other guy? Benjamin Dixon.
Yeah.
I listen to just about every news outlet you can ever find.
Left, right, in between.
Right. Usually when I'm listening to the right side, I cuss a lot.
But at least he listens to it and gets information.
I want to hear what they have to say.
Right.
That's why we try to make our group all inclusive, because I want to hear their point of view, and if I agree with it or not, I still want to hear ask why they're saying it, why they think that. That's my goal in doing what we're doing right now.
My goal is to focus on commonality, not division. I know we're not all going to vote for the same person. I get it, but it's hard for me when people try to justify voting for Trump. And it's just very hard for me to understand. I was raised a Christian, guys. I still am a Christian. I get it. I get that abortion numbers are crazy out of control. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It saddens me just like it saddens you. Like, I get it. But the Republicans aren't doing anything either in that regard. Like, they're trying to make abortion illegal, and Democrats are trying to make it unnecessary.
Right. As in,
like through birth control, through contraceptives, through education.
Right.
Like, they're trying to make it unnecessary, while Republicans are like, well, let's just make it illegal. That'll solve all the problems. And it doesn't. Like, historically, if you don't know your history, it's going to repeat itself. Historically, before Roe versus Wade, people were still having abortions, and they were having them at a much higher number.
Mm-hmm.
Like, abortions have actually gone down year after year after year, and they go down more significantly under Democratic presidents because they become unnecessary.
Right.
And I don't know how to bring that home. Like, I looked up data today. I can post it. But it was like under every president, whether Democrat or Republican, the abortion rates have been going down.
Dropping.
But under Clinton and Obama, they went down by double-digit percentages. And that was because of the more like, let's educate people on ways they can prevent these unwanted pregnancy.
Like, even when you go into the clinics, they're like, here's free rubbers, man. Use them.
Right, exactly. So in the data I looked up earlier, I know we're getting off topic. I'm so sorry. But like, I got into a discussion with a family member on Facebook yesterday. And of course, like, when we started talking about voting for Trump or Biden, she's like, I can't vote for Biden because he's for abortion. And that is just not, it's simply not true. He's went over this. Like, he has said in multiple platforms when he was doing a vice presidential debate, I think was it Paul Ryan? I don't know what he was doing with Paul Ryan. But they were talking about abortion, and they're both Catholics. So he was like, of course, it's against my religion. I don't agree with it for me. Like, just like I have said multiple times on this channel, like, I don't agree with it for me. But I don't believe I can tell somebody else not to, but I can tell someone else how to prevent even having to do it. You know? And I think taking care of healthcare costs, making contraceptives and stuff more available and affordable and attainable would help out so much. The stats I looked up said 74% of women that have had an abortion, so they did not have the ability to care for dependents, and they couldn't afford to have a baby. Like, that should astound people. Like, I know a bunch of people are probably like, well, then don't have sex. But guys, like, that's why education is important. Like, education, not just, well, don't have sex. Like, teenagers have hormones, guys. I don't know if you're aware. But telling them not to have sex is just...
that ain't gonna work.
It's not.
It ain't working.
You can tell them all day long, 24/7, abstinence is the best policy. But if they're super attractive football players or cheerleaders or dance teamers or whatever, basketball athletes, whatever, someone's trying to get at them. And when you are a teenager, it is so hard to just be like, oh, no, I don't want that. Because you do. You know? So, like, let's just be honest.
No,
like,
I don't want that. Let me see it. No.
Right. So saying, like, well, just don't have sex, that's not educating kids.
That's just avoiding the subject.
Yes. Like, saying it's a sin, you should avoid it. We all know it. We all know that. Like,
Cussing is a sin.
Right. But like, we all know we shouldn't, but we also know like it's hard not to, So
Oh,
I guess what I'm saying is part of sexual education should be like contraceptives and safe sex, not just don't do it. Because that's not education.
No.
Like just saying don't have sex, that is not education.
That sounds like that you got that idea at a church or something. One of your deacons told you that. Like, just don't do it.
Just don't do it. No, I mean, I had teachers in school. Like, that was what we were taught. Like, oh yeah, contraceptives are an option, but not doing it's the 100% way.
Really?
Like, we all know
lady?
that.
Punch yourself in the face.
But what I was trying to say about that is these same women, let's say they had those babies, the ones that had, please stop clicking that, the ones that had like the abortions and said, hey, I couldn't afford to take care of a baby, or I couldn't blah, blah, blah. If they if let's say they had the baby, then people are mad at them because they're living on welfare. They can't win. They're like, oh, you couldn't afford a baby. Well, you shouldn't have had it.
Oh,
like, guys, you have to realize, like, healthcare is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Education is so important.
Absolutely.
So,
especially women's healthcare.
Yes. And education, whether it be about family planning, which is what Planned Parenthood does, guys. That's literally why it's called that. It's about planning to be a parent. Like, I think less than 1% of what they do is abortion. Like,
this bothered her so much because just last night she had this discussion with one of her family members, and it was like a 30 or 45 minute long discussion over text messages.
And it's a family member I've like never talked to, but it's like, you're my family. I love you. I want to come to this like common ground with you.
I see a pattern. Can I tell you the pattern?
Sure. Go for it. Please.
It's really the get off my lawn guy. The older white people that always want to control everyone else, want to tell everybody what to do, want to control your every move. And to them, if you do whatever they don't tell you to do, you make a mistake. You're throwing your life away. The people that want to tell people, oh, you should. I'm voting so you should never have abortions. They would never have one, or they can't have kids. They're too old to even worry about it. So why do they care about this subject anymore? Why?
Because like what this person said to me is like, well, I'm a Christian, so
am I. I cuss a lot, but I'm still a Christian.
No,
I believe in God.
And that. Okay, this is the other thing that bothers me is we have become so divided in our country that you are almost felt to be made to feel like you can't be a Christian if you're a Democrat.
What?
Like, yes, because if you vote Democratic, you're voting for abortion. Like, that's what they make you feel like.
Oh, nobody's ever said no.
Oh, I've been told. I've been told that constantly.
I wish somebody would tell me something like that to my face.
So, like, we had a church lesson, honey. Like,
where? At that one church?
But it's like, it's hard to be a Christian and be proud of it in these times because you're made to feel like you can't be this and you can't be that together. Like, oh, you can't support the police and you can't be Black Lives Matter together. You can't be a Christian and you can't be a Democrat together. And to me, that is so like disheartening,
Yeah.
Like, no, like I'm a Christian. I've been a Christian my whole life. Like I read my Bible every day. Like, so someone telling me like I don't know what I'm talking about, or it's so frustrating. I'm sorry, we got off the topic of the debate, but that bothered me because we were talking about the debate and how Trump didn't denounce racism and white supremacy, and somehow me and this family member got on this long discussion about Christianity and politics, so it just went there. And, it was a lot.
She's the angry one today.
I'm
not
very
me.
angry. I'm sorry. Like, I thought I'd cooled down.
Nah.
Like, I didn't, though.
That's all right. Let it go.
Obviously, right. I didn't calm down. But I did want to say we are going to have a series or something about politics and the church and racism in the church and all of that. We're going to do a series on that.
Hey, like
basically like religion and politics and religion and racism and how that has impacted at least us. And I know it's impacted other people.
Man, y'all going to want to hear those episodes, I promise.
So,
subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the little bell.
The other thing, and this is the last thing I had on the debate, and I would love to hear what y'all's highlights were from the debate. But
when he called to do the clown.
No, I mean that's probably one of yours. But I thought it was really powerful when Biden was trying to talk about Bo. And he was trying to say, like, Bo did all these things in the military. He achieved these things. And the president is up here calling military members suckers and losers. He's insulting Gold Star families.
Man.
He's saying people that have been captured are losers, and he prefers people that don't get captured.
Yeah,
he has said all of this, guys. Like, it shouldn't be shocking.
It's not to us.
Right. It shouldn't be shocking that he would say the other things, right? But it was really powerful to me how he was trying to talk about Bo. And Trump just kept interrupting and kept bringing up Hunter. And Biden was like, no, I'm trying to talk about my son, Bo. And Trump literally went, well, I don't know Bo. So let me slam Hunter some more. And Biden interrupted him. He was like, no, my son, and he started talking about Hunter and how proud he is of him, that he has overcome drug addiction and still battles with it, I'm sure, because you don't just magically get over drug addiction. But it was very powerful to me that he stopped him and he's like, no, that's it. We're not going to talk about Hunter anymore. We're not going to talk about Bo anymore because obviously you don't know him. And that was just completely disrespectful. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, no, you're not going to talk about my son anymore. I'm proud of my son. He's made mistakes, but I'm proud of him. I love him.
Right. That's why I couldn't be no politician, man.
Right.
I know it's a dirty game, but if we're standing on the same stage and there's nobody between us, watch what you say.
Right.
Watch what you say, man. Especially about my kids. You can talk about my big head. You can talk about my funny beard. You can talk about how fat I am. You can talk about anything you want.
Yes, attack me. Do not come after my husband, my spouse, my kids, my mom, my dad. Don't come after my family. Come after me. You're debating me. Mm-hmm. Hunter Biden wasn't on that stage last night. Joe Biden was.
Nope.
So why did Hunter Biden keep getting brought up? He didn't bring up Ivanka. He didn't bring up Jared. He didn't bring up Eric or Tiffany or
anybody in his kinfolk.
Nobody. He didn't bring up Melania. He didn't bring up anybody. So the fact that Trump kept taking those lowball shots at his kids, I don't see how everyone isn't tired of this. It's every day, guys. Ooh.
It'll weigh you down if you let it.
Man.
We keep a lot of vodka and wine in the God stopped me from drinking.
Yes,
I had some coconut.
I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah, I couldn't get the bottle open.
I'm drinking coffee, not wine or vodka tonight. But
I'm going to keep working on that bottle.
He's going to. But, I just want to know what you thought about that debate last night. Please. I know I'm not the only one that was like, what was that? oh, what did I walk in on? You know?
Yeah, it was a train wreck. It was that.
So,
Hey, all y'all got to do is go to YouTube and hit subscribe.
On our next semester.
It's free.
It is free.
It helps us out. It supports us. It just shows that you are supporting us, and also whenever if we post something on YouTube and don't post it on Facebook, you automatically get to see it anyway.
And if y'all are chatting with us, which I don't know if you are because nothing's popping up, but
we're working a new system.
We're on something called Restream right now, and it's supposed to be streaming us on Facebook and Mixed Emotions on the YouTube channel at the same time. And I don't know if it's working, so let me know if it is.
Yeah, just say hi or something. You
right. But
is that it? Are you done venting?
Oh, for right now. I feel like that's what this was.
Did you get it out?
Was a vent sesh. No, but like I said, we're going to be posting like a series, probably starting this week. Maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend. Depends on when my researching abilities kick in. And we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about like racism in the church and why churches are still segregated. We're going to be talking about...
you got to get us a new camera, honey.
I know, the light is crazy. We're going to be talking about politics and religion, and if we feel like our pulpit minister should be able to tell us who to vote for. Well, I mean, we're gonna talk about.
We getting on that.
We're gonna talk about all of it. We're gonna talk about how the 2016 election has impacted us religiously and how it's impacted our church going. Before COVID, not, COVID kind of impacted everybody's church going abilities. But, yes, we're going to talk about all of that. So if you have experience with that, please join us. Please join the discussion on that. 'Cause I'm interested to see, like, if I'm crazy,
We'll definitely post an invite for those.
Yes.
Because it's gonna have to be more than one show. We can't talk for 2 hours about what's going on.
Yeah. So let me know how your mental is after that debate. Because I know mine has been like, what?
I guarantee you Trump tries to say, we don't want to debate no more. Because they're going to try to change the rules to make him shut the hell up when other people are talking. He don't want to do that.
Start muting the mics.
I don't think they're going to do that.
They did it in the primary debates.
I think they're going to try to do that. But if they try to go to Trump's team,
he'll agree to that.
Yeah, they're not going to agree to that. So they're going to be like, leave it like it is, or we're not going to do it at all. Which gets him away from having to debate anybody or talk about any issues.
Which I don't see how the debates were helpful to Biden either, honestly.
Actually, I wouldn't even tell his ass. I wouldn't even tell him. I would be like, look, we're going to mute the mic on both of them. We're gonna test it out. We'll get somebody start talking. Mute. Can't hear him. Cool. And don't say nothing. As soon as he realizes nobody can hear him, I guarantee you he just walks off the stage. But I'd let him come.
I don't think he'll walk off the stage. I think he'll just yell.
Yeah, he might.
I think he'll throw a tantrum. I think he'll throw a tantrum.
Are you guys muting me?
Right.
Fake news. Right. Fake news.
Right. And especially since it's not going to be a Fox News person next time.
You're fake news. That's why you ask fake questions. Bitch. Oh, he said bitch. He just called somebody. Oh, Trump just called somebody a bitch. Ah.
Sorry, I can't control him, guys. Like,
I'm just distracted.
He's crazy.
That wasn't distracting?
It was very distracting. I mean, sorry.
I'm sorry. Hey, y'all go to sleep. What time is it?
Oh, it's not time to go to bed. It's 9 o'clock.
Okay, it's about 8:43. Go get a drink. Get some ice. Get a little bit of Crown Coke or some vodka or something.
Your kids. Tell them bedtime.
You can do all that and hug your kids. Tell them you love them.
Put them to bed. All that.
Just don't breathe directly in their face with the alcohol. Just hug them.
Not everybody's an alcoholic.
We're not alcoholics. We just enjoy.
You might. I am not.
Anyway, we gotta go.
Anyways, so let us know how you thought this video went. Let us know if we actually streamed on Facebook and YouTube.
Subscribe.
And
It's free.
subscribe to our channel.
America! Get a black friend.
Good night.